Okay, this is pretty sweet. The new shop radio just showed up today. This is my first 8-track I've ever owned. This one's broken. It does work. The AM FM radio works, but the tape part doesn't. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and see what's going on.
For yourself.
That didn't really sound that great. I think Elvis Presley sounded a little bit better than that. So let's get this cleaned up. So what are we going to do? We are going to use some control cleaner. We're going to use some isopropanol alcohol. We got the 99% here. And then one Q-tip. And this is what we're going to use to clean the head on the deck. And we will use this, and we will go around to all the moving parts on it. The one thing I noticed about this head is it didn't really sit properly inside this housing here, which is fine, but I don't know. I'd like to find a nice working one so I can see exactly how things were laid out. It might be missing something. I don't know if someone else has been in here before. Another thing I want to take into consideration is on the tape here. I don't know if you can see, but there's a foam insert on the bottom here that is pretty worn out. So it's not making the contact that it should be in there, but the tape runs on these rollers right here. That's our main concern right here, is having that pressured onto the roller below here. So if it's not making good contact on here, on the bottom, on the inside here. So, I don't know if you can see the pencil here. Alright. Let me zoom in on this so you can have a better look here. Okay, so right in here is where the tape roller is. So this is what's moving the tape when this is spinning. I noticed with this thing it was getting locked up. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up around here a little bit. I'm going to make sure everything's all sprayed. Get all the layers on this guy. Hopefully that'll help with that from getting locked up there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll wait a little bit until the cleaner is done doing its job and kind of soaked in around everything there. And then we'll go ahead and we'll give it another shot with the cleaned head and the new lubricated moving parts. Hopefully we get something that sounds a little bit better. And then for now, I'm just going to call that good once that's working. So back in the early 80s and 70s and so on, I guess you could say, this was a standard button configuration where it was just a plastic button that would go all the way through, and then it would press down on another piece of metal to make contact. It wasn't like the switches we have now. So these, over time, they wear down, they bend, they get locked into whatever position. It just happens. So at some point here, I'll go ahead and get these all fixed up properly again so they're making the proper contact. I do believe this one button is not making contact when being pressed properly. Anyways, I'll revisit this in the future. I'm going to get to this. And now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that head on here, because it was, when I did buy this, it was loose, it was hanging out, so I'm not too sure what had happened to the unit prior. Okay, and we are back. So now, it's been a while, so I'm just going to clean up my little bit of a mess here. Let's recap here. All I've done is I've sprayed any moving parts with the control cleaner. I have cleaned the head on the machine. And I've also cleaned the roller as well here, just in case. And other than that, I haven't done anything else besides reposition the head back into the slot here, which I think I might do something to... Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up and see what happens.
is catching up and closing in, covering the sky of blue.
Okay, so all in all, I'm pretty happy with this now. It sounds great. Well, as great as it can. Remember, that foam pad not being in there is not allowing for the proper pressure as well on the inside for the tape. Or that's what I assume is happening. I'm going to have to get some replacement foam inserts there, or make some somehow. I can probably figure out something here. But that seems to be the main concern, is just how it's going on there. But other than that,
if these lovely things don't hurt you.
Elvis now sounds like Elvis, and that's what I wanted. So besides doing this here, now I have a working unit. Now I can go ahead and clean up the volume control knobs and do the switches here, and basically that's it. And maybe do something with the head there, and just making sure I got that foam on the inside of my tapes. So I think this is a success. That's it. That's a done deal. So I'll be right back once I get it all back together and have some final words. I've got a little bit of a discovery on this guy. When I was putting it back together, I found this little piece right here. Sitting underneath the player, and it must have fallen out the back, and I must have just had the case on top of it the whole time. Basically what this is, it's for holding the head of the machine down so it's not moving up and down. So it looks like it broke over time, which is fine. I did look at it before I did put it back together and verified that that's where that came from, because you could even see the indent from the screw from the tension. So what I'm going to have to do is get that back on inside there to hold that head in place properly. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this unit. I didn't need too much to get back going, so that was great. Once I do that, I get the foam pad added to the tape underneath the tape there. We should be good to go. So that's it for me for today. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.